What if I told you the most devastating weapon ever devised by mankind wasn't scrapped because it failed, but because it succeeded too well? This is the buried tale of Project Sundial, a weapon so incomprehensibly destructive, it struck terror into even the coldest hearts of the Cold War. It was an idea that didn't just push boundaries, it erased them entirely. Top secret, locked away, forgotten not by accident, but by design. A bomb so powerful, it could have ended not just the war, but the world. In 1945, the world ended and then kept moving. 2 nuclear bombs dropped on Japan, reduced entire cities to ash, and changed global warfare forever. But for physicist Edward Teller, this was just a prologue to a far greater horror. A new age had begun, the atomic age, and Teller wasn't interested in deterrence. He wanted absolution through annihilation. While Hiroshima and Nagasaki marked the arrival of atomic warfare, Teller envisioned something beyond comprehension. A single weapon capable of wiping human civilization off the map. Not as an act of war, but as a demonstration of absolute power. A final answer to the question of conflict. By 1952, Teller had co-created the hydrogen bomb, a weapon 1,000 times more powerful than the Hiroshima bomb. But it still wasn't enough. With terrifying clarity, he proposed a new kind of bomb. A nested structure of fission and fusion devices, each triggering the next in a chain of unstoppable energy. A nuclear matryoshka, a cascade of destruction. Project Sundial was born in the darkest corridors of U.S. military research. Its specifications were unholy. 10 billion tons of TNT in yield. A blast radius the size of a small nation. A weapon that didn't just end wars, it would end time. It was theorized to split the very Earth's crust. Teller wasn't just thinking militarily. He was thinking geologically. Sundial was never meant to be launched. It was never meant to be moved. This was a stationary endgame. A fixed location bomb buried in U.S. soil. A threat not of invasion, but of total mutual extinction. Its existence alone was the message. The logic was chilling. If the United States were ever conquered or compromised, the world would be erased. Its components were to be scattered across hidden bunkers. Fail-safe triggers, dead man switches, triple authentication. If diplomacy failed, if the enemy pushed too far, Sundial would be activated. The resulting blast would ignite the sky, turn air to fire, and plunge the planet into darkness. It would collapse the atmosphere into itself, triggering a volcanic winter that would freeze continents. An apocalypse with coordinates. So why did Sundial die in the cradle? It wasn't mercy. It wasn't peace. It was panic. Scientists who supported the H-bomb turned against Sundial. They saw the numbers and realized this was no longer war. This was ecocide. A miscalculation, a malfunction. A rogue actor could doom the planet. Even the U.S. military flinched. General Maxwell Taylor called it strategic suicide. President Eisenhower is rumored to have thrown the blueprints into the fire. Files were purged. Bases shuttered. No official record remains, just whispers. In veteran meetings and redacted memos in old archives. But the knowledge? That never went away. Now imagine the unspeakable. Sundial goes live. A flash of white, then darkness, a fireball larger than Manhattan. The shockwave obliterates everything within 300 miles. Cities vanish in seconds. The air becomes poison. Oceans evaporate into steam. Clouds laced with radiation. Then comes the ash. Billions of tons of soot and fallout blot out the sun. Global temperatures plummet. Plants die. Livestock perish. Power grids fail. Civilization crumbles, not with a bang but with silence, starvation, and sorrow. The end wouldn't be war. It would be entropy. Project Sundial never detonated, but maybe it didn't have to. Its mere design reshaped how world powers thought about war. It marked the threshold between weapons of conquest and weapons of extinction. A line we were never meant to cross. Some claim remnants of Sundial still exist, coded, compartmentalized, monitored by silent satellites and legacy defense programs. Let's hope it stays that way, because if Sundial ever goes from memory to reality, it won't be a story. It'll be the last chapter. Buried files, stories the world tries to bury. Like, subscribe, and comment.